Hi, Janelle Schaefer here with Sheep Hill Herbs. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another video. I'm really glad you're here today. And before we get started, please take a moment to like, hit the bell button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. I love to read your comments and I will definitely respond to them. And also please check my description down. The first link is my Etsy shop, and then a little further down I have my 3 books on Amazon. And I also have my website listed where you can go over there and sign up for my newsletter, and I will send you my free ebook on making herbal tea. So in this video, I want to just get right to it. I am going to share with you 10 kitchen natural ingredients. I was gonna say herbs, but they're not all herbs. Natural ingredients, herbal ingredients, and some other foods that you can use, that if I were like, this was all I had, like for the winter or something, these are the ones I would want to have. And I'm gonna be checking my notes, so don't mind me. The first one is oregano. And the best way to have oregano is if you have grown it yourself in your herb garden, cut it and dried it. It will be the spiciest version, the best quality. But if you were in a pinch and you needed to make a very strong herbal tea for colds or coughs, I would even just buy oregano from the store, fresh if it was in the produce section, and make a strong infusion with that. I'm going to jump to the next ingredient, which kind of goes with oregano, and that's honey. And this honey can be used with pretty much every single ingredient here. But honey definitely makes oregano infusion or oregano tea taste better. It's soothing to the throat. I would buy raw and local honey if you can do that. So that would be my second ingredient of choice. My third would be garlic. And that's fresh garlic and garlic, USA garlic, local if you have local. If you cannot, for some reason, get fresh garlic and it's winter and you don't have it, I would buy garlic powder. And I would use the garlic powder in pretty much like anything I was eating, or if I, didn't feel well, maybe making a vegetable broth, a potassium broth, and just really loading up with garlic powder. But you should always have garlic on hand. Buy extra. Even if it starts to sprout those little green sprouts, it's still fine. The next ingredient I would always have is onions. And again, you want to buy local, organic. Make sure that you have onions that are hot and spicy. Some of the too sweet onions don't really have the medicinal values and the spice and heat needed to really knock things out that you don't want in the body. Also, I have used sliced onions on plates in bedroom spaces to help open up the chest, open up the nasal passages, and kind of like kill germs. So that that's another go-to. So the next ingredient that I would recommend is getting hot peppers, or having hot peppers on hand. And the best way to do this is if you're growing them in your own garden and you cut them or pick them. This is like a super buggy spot that I'm at my kids' practice and I'm like fitting this video in. But if you grow your own peppers and you pick them, dry them, I usually dry them in paper bags, but I also find the best way to preserve my hot peppers is either in vinegar, or I cut them up and roast them with olive oil and garlic, and then I freeze large amounts of them and keep them in the freezer. So hot peppers to me are something to help with digestion and also just like move sluggishness out of the body, bring heat to the body. I do make a cayenne pepper tincture, but having hot peppers on hand is important. And then equally spicy would be ginger, and ginger root fresh or ginger root dried. So I remember last year when everyone was in a panic and all of the dried goods were like being, you know, flying off the shelves. And I would go in the grocery store, at least in my area, and there was tons of garlic, tons of ginger, tons of onions, tons of vegetables, and I was just so happy because that's what I wanted and that's what I knew I needed to keep us strong and healthy. Okay, and then the next food item I would always have on hand would be cabbage. And cabbage can be sliced up and used as a poultice for many topical skin problems, bruises, swellings, congestion in the lymphatic system. So this is something that you can easily get at the grocery store pretty much any time of year, excuse me, and I would have that on hand for sure. And then I would also make sure that I always have olive oil and always have apple cider vinegar. And I do. I always have both of those. Apple cider vinegar can be mixed with many different herbs to make like a tincture or like an herbal vinegar that can be medicinally imbibed, whether on salads or just plain. So I'll often take an herb that mixes well with vinegar, let's say oregano, let's say basil or garlic, and you soak that in the vinegar, in the jar of vinegar, like pack the jar with the plant, put in the apple cider vinegar, and now you have this infused vinegar that has these properties, these strong chemical constituents that can help keep your body strong. Apple cider vinegar can also be used for cleaning the skin, cleansing the skin, numerous skin conditions by using a cotton ball and swabbing. I use apple cider vinegar for like everything. Same with olive oil, and I buy only extra virgin olive oil, cold press, and I make my salves from it. I use it for every kind of cold platter food with vegetables, like any kind of salad, and I also cook with my olive oil, but many of my herbal remedies include olive oil, and so I always have that on hand. I always want to make sure that I have olive oil. And then my last kitchen must-have, and this one is not like as common, but I had to put it in here because I have quite a number of spicy plants and herbs, and you want to have soothing things as well, and this is lamb's ear. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because lamb's ear, most people do grow this. It's pretty ornamental and can be found at pretty much every single nursery, and it grows and spreads well. And it's very soft and fuzzy, and you can pick it even in the winter time usually. If you cover it up with like a sheet or some linen, it will still be okay. And you can go out and collect it, make this into a tea, and you can use the tea for injuries and bruises and bumps. So it's very soothing topically, and I wanted to have and include a more soothing herb with this like kitchen herb food remedy packet. Now these are not my like unusual herbs that I would always make sure I have on hand, but I wanted to make this video about kitchen herbs, kitchen plants that I know you can get at the grocery store, and the ones that I would be able to use in a pinch, ones that I could rely on, that are easy to make sure that I can always have. And you know, if I wasn't prepared, if I didn't have things stocked, my shelves stocked, and I didn't have, you know, I didn't have time to wait for an order, that's what I could go to. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Come back soon because I post pretty regularly. So thank you so much, and come again.